Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the League of Europe. We are back for F2, Round 2, Season 7. We're at China tonight, which is always a interesting one with F2 cars because they don't go in there in real life. We can go there on the game. I don't remember much of of China and F2 cars, but it's it's a track that I rarely see on the game these days, so I'm quite looking forward to it. Obviously, we had Alex commentate last week. Unfortunately, something has come up. He's got other commitments. Something's changed. So I thank him for commentating last week and giving me the opportunity to drive. But I am now back covering him for this week and the foreseeable future. So last week we did Britain, Silverstone. And it was the new format: qualifying, one-shot qualifying, a sprint race where the top 10 from quali are reversed. So 10th starts first. There you go. And then a feature race where it is just the grid order from qualifying. And we have technically two people tied on 36, but a reserve is currently leading the standings. Excel Rocco won the sprint race and fourth in the feature race, which gives him the lead on countback. Verstappen, QVR Verstappen won the feature race and I don't know where that was in the sprint, but I want to say around 6th or 7th. Let me just double check. It was 7th, or it was 8th for fastest lap, and I don't quite know. Yeah, that is the state of play. The rest of the top 10 as it stands are Emily Tope in 3rd. He picked up a 3rd place in the feature race. Excel Tinkan in 4th, who picked up a 3rd place in the sprint. Nathan, the reigning champion, is in 5th. He retired in that sprint race, but did recover to get 2nd in the feature. Then we have me in 6th, which I don't think is going to last very long. I somehow got a podium in the sprint. The feature race, I think that's 11th, but 12th. Sorry, 12th. But that won't last for much longer. There are 3 people tied on 19, and I was one of them. We're joined by QVR Campbell and Nolan on 19 points. And then XL Larkin and XL Miami are both tied on 18 to wrap out, finish the top 10. I'm going to say it like that. There we go. So for the constructors, that means High Tech are leading. That is the team of Emily Tope and Darry. So they are on 38. Then we have HWA, which is Verstappen, who that's all his points, and Shazoo Cortez, who hasn't picked up any points as of yet. And then we have MP Motorsport, UNI Virtuosi, and Carlin as the rest of the top 5. We are just waiting, I think, to get this underway. It is now 8 o'clock. Just looking back at last season, China, Nathan came 2nd in both of these races. He did take pole, I think. Looking at that, he took pole position for the feature race, and then fought back and took fastest lap in both races, and then 2nd in the sprint race as well. But the feature race was won by QVR Verstappen, and the sprint race was won by XL Larkin. So it is an interesting mix of winners. Not one where Nathan completely dominated, which Nathan had a long streak of podiums at the start of the season and didn't miss out on the podium until the 11th actual race. And he had 11 podiums the first 12. He's already failed to score a podium in one race, in the first race, but that was because he crashed out, or retired. I don't remember if he crashed out, but he didn't finish either way. And he'll be looking to put that straight this time around as we get to Shanghai. Just wait for the lobby to load in. I don't know what the tyre compounds are. It's obviously a one-shot qualifying. There is a high potential of rain at China in one of the sessions, so we could see some wet weather at some point, or we could somehow get a completely dry 3 sessions. That is a dry qualifying at least. And I'm looking quite forward to how this is going to go. Obviously, the cars are very different to handling from last season, in my opinion. There's not as much understeer, and traction's a little bit easier. So we will just wait for everyone to, and obviously everyone can pick setups now as well. So the default setup, not fully custom one, but just the presets. So we're going to go on board with Killer Blue as he starts his lap of the Shanghai International Circuit as we get into turn 1. Very difficult in these F2 cars. You just understeer off the apex. Very long corner. That's actually 1 and 2 there, but as you get it into 3, good traction on the exit. Gets round there very nicely. Holds it. And we actually have Ariel Nolan leading the way out of the end of the first sector. As they cross the sector split, that was a 27-4 for Killer Blue. He's dropped down a little bit, but can he get a good exit out of here? Yes, he can. So he's in that midfield pack. Nathan is climbing his way back up the leaderboard. I'm just looking for QVR Campbell. Yeah, down there in about 8th, 9th right now. He's just dropped down a few positions as well. Probably gone a bit slow into that corner. But he'll get a good run. It ebbs and flows. As XL Larkin did win the sprint race round here last season. He's doing very well for himself at the front right now. XL Rocco up there as well. And Nolan still fighting. Nathan currently down in 10th. So I don't know what's going on with him. As Killer Blue does have purple middle sector. Didn't really move anywhere in terms of the leaderboard. This is a crucial one. Has anyone gone for a straight... less downforce, more straight line speed setup? No real switching on the straights as Rocco currently leads us into the hairpin. Nolan's now taking the lead. No, Rocco's got it back. Rocco on the exit. Nathan currently in 9th. Campbell's managed to get himself up to 5th. Is Rocco going to take pole? Rocco takes pole for the second race of the season. That was a real switch up at the end. Larkin dropped down to 6th. It was Campbell that will join Rocco on the front row for the feature race. They'll be on the 5th row for the sprint. And I think Verstappen managed to get 3rd in the end. It looked like all the way round it was going to be Rocco, Larkin, Nolan. And Rocco does hold on in the end. Nolan slipped down to 4th. Nathan manages to get 5th in the end. Larkin 6th. Miami 7th. Killer Blue in 8th. Tin Can 9th. And Tope, who has reverse grid pole for the sprint race, he will start 10th in the feature. And now the drivers that start outside the top 10 in both races, this is the position they'll start in all of the in both races. Cortez in 11th, Heated 12th, B Morgan 13th, Darry 14th, Mark 15th, Luco 5 and 16th, Jordan 17th, Ibo 18th, Maverick and Jerome at the back, and neither of those actually set a valid lap time on their one lap. So yeah, that is 2 points for Rocco. He takes the lead back without count back now. He's clear by 2 points. So yeah, we have a reserve driver leading the championship after the first 2 races, the first round really. So I don't know if that's ever been done in it. I don't think that's ever been done in F2. A reserve driver leading the championship or winning the championship, but I have no bias towards Rocco at all. I do not want him to win the championship because he is a reserve, although it would be quite funny. So we'll wait for them to pick their tyres for this this sprint race. I would have thought everyone would have gone on the hardest compound of the tyres, which is the mediums, but we do have two differences to that. B Morgan down in 13th, and Ibo in 18th. They have gone for the soft compounded tyres. So there we go. There's the two compounded tyres, mediums and softs. B Morgan has gone for those soft compound tyres. Ibo does it in every sprint race, so that's not a surprise. But someone has joined him in this case. The other thing I didn't check is reserves. So at the I think the only reserve we have in tonight is Rocco. Maybe I'm wrong on that actually. But I think everyone else is a full-time driver. Jav hasn't snuck in. No? Okay, so I think everyone in here is a full-time driver. And I'm quite looking forward to this. Well, yeah, everyone in here is a full-time driver, sorry, except from the championship leader in 10th place, Rocco, as they are about to get onto the back straight. There we go. Tope is leading the field. He's quite far ahead of the field actually, as he's starting to back them up onto the straight now. Doing a bit of weaving. Tyres obviously lose the most in a straight, so it's a bit of a weird. You push in the middle sector, and yeah, okay, it kind of makes sense. But yeah, we have Tope on pole position for this sprint race. Tin Can on the front row beside him. Whoever can get a good start here, get really. You want to be on the inside for turn one. And I have no idea whether that's first or second round here. But you want to be on that inside line so that you can get a good drive off the corner. There's a UNI really far up there. I'm assuming that's Nathan. He's just gone for it at the start. Oh, on the formation lap. As they start to form up on the grid now. So, the... Actually, first is on the outside, on the clean side of the grid, on the racing line, but you kind of want the inside. You can hang it around the outside, but it's not the easiest thing to do. As we get ready for the lights now. Here they come. Oh, wait, there we go. There's the lights. And we have 5 red lights. And away we go for the sprint race in China. Good start from Tin Can. He does get the move down the on the inside. Miami going for it. He's going to have a look at Tope. He's going to have a look at Tin Can. I think the gap is just there. Miami sneaks around, tries to get that space. Tin Can still holds it. So Tin Can in the lead then from second place on the grid. And there's a little bit of contact there. Tope's gone for a half spin. And that's Nathan in the wall. Is that Nathan in the wall? No, it's Luke, sorry. I am mistaken. No, it is Nathan. It is Nathan. The leaderboards are confusing me. So Nathan, the championship leader, has had... the reigning champion has had a little bit of a mare there. Campbell's joined him, as has Larkin, actually, at the back. And that's a big recovery from there. Tin Can leads us away then through this middle sector. Nearly at the end of the second sector already. But B Morgan already up to 6th on his softs, so his strategy of going to the softs to get places at the start has kind of worked. Well, it has worked a lot, and he's going to be having a look now. He'd had a look at the inside of Nolan there, as there's a bit of swapping behind. Darry up into 8th position. And B Morgan's going to be all over the back of Nolan now, as Nolan goes very wide out of... the snail corner. I don't know what that corner is actually called. It's just very long, as B Morgan now going to look down the inside of Killer Blue and Nolan. Can he get this stopped? He can. Can he get the position? Yes, he can. So he is up to 4th place now, B Morgan, on this opening lap. he started in, I think, yeah, 13th place. So as Tin Can crosses the line to lead us on to lap 2, Miami in second. Verstappen got up 5 places into third on that first lap, but B. Morgan, not even the biggest gainer, because Jerome is up 10 places from the back of the grid. From 20th as Nolan and Rocco showing he had that pace in qualifying. The pace in qualifying was legit. He's making that move on Nolan. Nolan's not going to make this easy for him, but is he ahead? No, he's not. They're still side by side. Sorry, as I switched to the wrong person. Nolan going to defend that on the inside. Nearly hits the back of Killer Blue there into turn 6, but holds position, and Rocco will have to sit behind for a few more corners. But good battling so far on these opening couple of laps, and really good driving from everyone, really. Just that few incidents at the start as Nathan has caught up to the back of the train. Well, they're close to the back of the train, him and Campbell. I definitely did see a car with some damage, but I don't know which car that would be. As B. Morgan out of DRS range. I think he's trying to close that back up to 1.2 seconds, as there is a yellow flag, and that is Ibo round at turn 11. I'm guessing now. I am guessing, but unfortunately for Ibo, he's had a little moment there. As we make our way down the back straight again, B. Morgan still trying to close that gap. It's 1.1 seconds now. There is a battle down the field. Tope, who was 10th in qualifying, trying to make his way back up. Started on pole for this race. Had that incident. But a little bit of contact with it was Tin Can or Miami. I think it was Miami. My memory is that bad. I can't remember 2 laps ago. But as we cross the line to start lap 3, Tope is into 15th place now, so he is slowly getting back up the field, one place at a time. So we have Cortez right on the back of Darry, trying to put some pressure. Oh, there, and B. Morgan's out of the race after all that progress. B. Morgan has crashed out at the exit of turn 4. And Ibo is... I just want to get an angle on this. So, the exit of turn 4 here is just lost the back end here, and I'm assuming just gone straight into the wall there. It's very easy to do, to be fair. As now that gap between Jake... sorry, I said Jake. Oh god, Killer Blue and Nolan is well, the gap between Killer Blue and Verstappen is 2 seconds, as Nolan has now picked up a 3-second time penalty, as has Maverick. Jordan has had a little spin as well in 18th place, as Nolan pushing the limits of the track there. We do have DRS for the leaders this time around. Is actually Nolan will go back on board with him. He's going to fly past Killer Blue up into 4th place with that penalty. Killer Blue actually looking all the way around the outside on the brakes. He's not going to get the room, surely. Nolan does give him the space. And they're going to drive it down into the final corner at turn 16. Who's going to be ahead? Killer Blue's going to be ahead. Nolan tries around the outside. No space really there. They're still side by side. As they come down the pit straight, who's got DRS? Neither of them have DRS. Rocco sat right in behind this group with the DRS, trying to do something. Jake, oh, I've done it again. Oh god, Killer Blue does this little switch back on Nolan. Has the place, looks at the place and kind of shuts the door on Rocco. I don't know if there's a little bit of contact there. But positions held all round. Nolan does gain that position, but they've lost a second in that battle. In front, the front 3 are just pulling away at this point. With Tin Can managing that gap. It wasn't really under threat last time around from Miami. Verstappen, not much he can do with being third in the train. Not really, can't really get into the lead from there unless there's a mistake from Miami, which there was a small little error there. The gap is now 8 tenths between the top 2, and Verstappen's going to be really looking at this. Is Miami trying to execute the perfect exit from here? Verstappen a little bit sideways, as Darry has probably made a small error there. Yes, he has. As we're going on board with Verstappen still, 3 tenths the gap. and he's not going to close this by very much. Unless he can send it from here. He's having a look to the inside, but not very much he can do. He is later on the brakes than Miami as Tin Can goes wide. Not what he wanted as Killer Blue gets back through on Nolan, but he's gone deep and he's going to lose the position to Rocco. So this is an opportunity for Rocco to get Nolan down this straight. But actually, Rocco's just made a big mistake as well. They're both going to have DRS. He's got the best drive out of these two. Rocco has the slipstream. He's going to be able to hold that. Rocco into 5th place after that mistake. Cortez making a move around the outside of Jerome, is he? Well, these two still battling. They've been battling for a few corners now. For a few laps, sorry. Cortez sticks behind Jerome. Jerome up 13 places. A very good drive from him from the back of the grid. And these top 3, there's nothing really to separate them so far. I think once they start switching positions, it'll kind of... one of them will start to gain from that and pull away. But at the moment, they're all just holding position, holding firm. Verstappen in 3rd. Not much he can do. Tried to capitalise on a Miami mistake last time around, which hasn't happened this time. No, it has a little bit of a mistake. And now Verstappen is right on the back of him. He does look to the inside. Can't really go for a move. He's got to try and get this exit right. He's basically pushing him through these corners. And Miami has nailed this exit, you would think. Verstappen gone a bit wider. The gap is 1.5 tenths. It's coming down. This is Verstappen's chance. Can he get into 2nd place in this race? If he gets into 2nd place, he's got a real good shot at getting at Tin Can. On the brakes, he's down the inside, and surely that is position 1. Switch back from Miami. Can he get the drive out of the corners? Nathan makes a position on Maverick. Up into 15th. His teammate in front of him. I don't think they'll fight too much. As Verstappen does have this position, but Miami is going to try and come back at him, but they think the gap is too big. Verstappen now up into 2nd place. That was a critical move in this race. We're on lap 6 already. This is the after this lap, we're halfway through. And that is a key move, as Rocco actually stayed behind Nolan for that lap. But they have kind of gapped Killer Blue behind, nearly outside of a 2nd. It's going to be very close. I wonder if Killer Blue did not have DRS on the previous lap, and that is why that gap is as big as it is. As Rocco, a little bit of a wobble mid-corner there, and manages to say, like, nothing major, but a few attempts lost there, as he's trying to get right on the back of Nolan, the championship leader, in a very nice position, working his way from 10th on the grid up to 5th so far. Podium not out of reach, really, but well, the gap is 3 seconds. If Rocco can close that up, that is a very good job, but it's still a possibility depending on penalties, as Rocco goes very deep into there. I'm going to switch back, sorry, for a moment. Rocco now nearly a 2nd back already. I'm going to switch back to the leaders. Verstappen, 4 tenths back from Tin Can. Is this a chance for Verstappen, who won the feature race in Britain? Is this a chance to take the lead? He does look to the inside, but he's not going to get anything done. Miami just sitting in behind. Verstappen has a look on the exit. Better drive than Tin Can, but Tin Can just being ahead has the better exit. But the line was compromised because he had to he defended slightly, and Verstappen's going to breeze past him now down the straight. He's got to watch Miami. Miami in a... oh, no, he's a bit too far back. As they start lap 7, Cortez with the fastest lap of the race. He's up into 6th now, ahead of Killer Blue. So Killer Blue kind of... oh, no, they're he's side by side with Jerome. And Jerome gets through the... I'm trying to figure out which car's which. I think that's the Charouse through on the Trident. Yes, it is. And Jerome up 13 places back into 7th position. Cortez did get past him a few laps ago. As Rocco is now dropped outside of a 2nd from... no, he's gained that time back, sorry. The gap to the lead group is still 4 tenths. And actually, Tin Can's doing a very nice job of staying with Verstappen so far on this lap. So... this race is not over. Verstappen, quick in qualifying, he's up from 8th, so he qualified 3rd. Tin Can started 2nd, so he was 9th on the grid. Miami was No, sorry. Tin Can qualified 9th, started 2nd in this race. Nathan picks up a penalty, which is not great for him trying to pick up points. That would drop him right now just outside of the points, I think. Actually, no, he'd still be inside, I think. So, as we look at Tin Can trying to close that gap to Verstappen, Verstappen's got a big enough gap, really, that he doesn't really need to worry about Tin Can behind, as Rocco trying to close back up to Nolan. Made a few mistakes on the last couple of laps, but clearly showed the pace he had in qualifying. He's trying to make that pay now. As Verstappen picks up a 3-second penalty, that could be crucial to this race. I've never thought I'd say this, but if Tin Can doesn't get a penalty, he will win. Tin Can, very well known for getting penalties. He had a 3rd place in Silverstone in the sprint race last week, so if he can win this time around, it would be even better. Miami in a very good position. He didn't score very highly in the sprint race. I think a 9th place finish. No, a 10th place finish. It's Rocco now all over the back of Nolan. So Rocco now right there as Nolan makes a little bit. It goes a little bit wide into 6, all over the curb. Still holds the position. So Rocco going to sit him behind, try and get him on DRS. But this is interesting. Can he get the gap? Can he stay close enough to him in these couple of corners before the DRS split and before the activation point, that he can get a good drive, and he's slipped back a little bit. It looks like about 3 attempts you need to have the gap to overtake, really, around here, even with the kilometre-long straight. And well, Rocco's fallen further back again. He hasn't got that gap. It's 5 tenths, so Rocco a bit too far back. As he's got to watch behind him now. Cortez is just outside of DRS range, potentially to make a move, as Tin Can doesn't go for a move this time around. I think he's going to sit in behind. There's 4 laps left of this race. Rocco still looking at the back of Nolan. Been like this for about 4 or 5 laps now. He's biding it. Well, he's not biding his time. He just can't make. He just can't get the exits he wants onto the straights. Nolan having him there on corner exits, really, as Larkin picks up a 30-second penalty just in front of Nathan. So that gives that Nathan, if Nathan can get Larkin, that's another position. As Heated and Darry are battling for P9. Heated up the inside of Darry. There's a little bit of room there, and Heated's gone for a little half spin, a little bit of contact, and Larkin's going to get past him. Nathan just behind now. As we switch back to the battle for the lead, we have Tin Can still behind Verstappen. Verstappen made that move a couple of laps ago to get into the lead of this race. Tin Can was leading from about turn 4. Oh, it's Verstappen slides! Verstappen slides! Reminiscent of Vettel in 2011 Canada. Just a little bit of a back-end loss. Tin Can retakes the lead, but it's going to lose the DRS this lap. I don't know if Miami's close enough to get past him. But obviously, Verstappen has that penalty. Verstappen will probably get back past, but that's a weird, interesting mistake from Verstappen. I don't know what's caused that, but he's just gone for a little bit of a slide at about, I think, turn 10. And, or turn 9. I can't remember the corner, which corner it actually is, but I think it's turn 9, actually. Well, Verstappen does get back past on the brakes. And we have a move in behind. Cortez and Jerome still battling here on lap 9. And Cortez re-overtaken by Jerome. Jerome up 14 places from the back of the grid. It's a shame. Oh, and he's picked up a penalty, as I've said that. 3-second penalty for Jerome. But it's a shame. He's got to start. He's got to do all the hard work again in the feature race. Because he qualified in P20 with an invalidated lap, and he's got to start there again. So even though it's promising what he's done in this race, and he's got more time to do it in the next, he's got a lot of positions to make up again, which is not ideal, as Killer Blue is starting to fall back further and further back from this group. Nathan and Heated having a nice little battle down into turn 6, and Nathan gets that position done. The reigning champion up into 11th place now, still with that penalty, which will currently drop into 13th. I think it must have been Campbell who had the front wing damage. Yes, it is. So Campbell been driving this whole race with front wing damage, currently in 14th. He's battling on. Fair play to him. Rocco, I think the plan for Rocco now is to just sit in behind. I thought he might have a chance of trying to catch the top 3, as Verstappen has pulled clear a little bit on this lap. Tin Can with the DRS going to close him in a little bit. But Rocco, the plan will be just to sit in behind Nolan, not pick up a penalty. And he'll take home P4, which is a very solid race. As we have Dari out the session, I think it's a bit too late for a safety car now. He's crashed. I think we have Nathan off there. That is Nathan. I think that must have been a crash between Dari and Nathan. Nathan has no front wing damage. But Nathan now outside of the points. It's Campbell now up to 12th with that front wing damage. It's gained 2 positions from that. Nathan outside the points. So it's not started well for the reigning champion at all this season. Doesn't look like he's going to pick up any points whatsoever. In this first race at China, and we are going to see. Well, I think actually the man in first position currently. Oh, it's actually going to be very close for the championship. If Rocco finishes 4th, Verstappen finishes at the moment 3rd. It's going to be level on points again, with Rocco having the lead on Countback. No. Verstappen will have the lead on Countback because of he has more podiums. There we go. But actually no. Rocco will have the lead by a point. Sorry, I am messing up I'm messing up the point system. I don't know the point system off by heart. I just had to go look. But Rocco sat in behind now. Nothing really happening throughout the field. The leader's still stuck in their little tray and they're not really moving. These two, Rocco just sitting behind. They're actually gaining slightly on the leaders. Not by too much, but by enough. It's not bringing them into range of Verstappen's penalty unless he gets another one. All Tin Can and Cortez picks up a penalty, so now Girone is going to hold on to that 6th place if Cortez does not make an overtake. A lot of penalties picked up towards the end of this race, but the 2 people that haven't in the lead really, Tin Can and Miami, are going to get the most points out of this just for keeping it clean. Really, had nice track position at the start, 2nd and 4th. Avoided incident at the start, and avoided incident for the rest of the race. And as with half a lap to go, Verstappen still leads, but with that penalty, it will drop him down to 3rd. And that battle behind still going on, as Nathan has made a move he's into the points now, and actually, as it stands, will get a point ahead of Maverick. He will score 1 point in this race if unless Luke falls out of 3 seconds, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen. But we'll go with the leaders now as they come down the back straight for the final time in this sprint race. Verstappen has DRS, so he must have got that off a lap car. That must have been Ibo. As they break down into turn 14 for the final time in this race. Up to the final 2 corners, and just if these 2 keep it clean, as Nathan picks up another time penalty, which is going to drop him outside of the points, I think. There we have it, Tin Can wins in the sprint race in Shanghai with Miami in 2nd. They capitalise on that grid position. Verstappen leading for the end of that race. That penalty crucial in the end. He finishes 3rd. The championship leader still by a point. Rocco comes fourth, just outside the top 10. As actually Nathan does hold on to a point in 15th because Maverick had more penalties as well. Nolan fifth, very good drive from Nolan, very good start, and managed to just even with that penalty, still gets fifth place. Jerome sixth, great drive from the back of the grid. Cortez seventh. We had Killer Blue in eighth, just struggled to. He fell back a little bit. Heated ninth, Larkin 10th. Campbell managed to recover to 11th after that front wing damage. Tope, pole sitter in 12th. Mark 13th. Luke 14th. And Nathan, the final point scorer after that incident at the end. And then just outside the top 10, we have Maverick. Outside the top 15, sorry, we have Maverick, Jordan, and Ibo in 16th, 17th, and 18th. And then Darry and B. Morgan out of the race. Not to finish. B. Morgan decided to go with the softs, and it paid off at the start. He goes up to 6th, and then I can't even remember what lap it was. He was out of the race. So there we have it. Finishing order. Fastest lap goes to, unless someone in the top, someone outside the top 10 had it in the top 15. Yes, so actually Nathan will get the fastest lap point because the fastest lap point goes down to 15th along with the point system, the rest of the point system, and so Nathan will pick up the extra point, so he gets 2 points from that race, which I bet he's really happy about that. But there we have it. Tin Can wins the sprint race in China. He did say earlier in the day that if China was anything like it was on the F1 side of things, that he was going to do well today. He qualified 9th, but he had a clean race, and he takes home the victory in the sprint race. That is 18 points for him. And that will do him a world of good in the championships. And actually, he's not far off the championship lead now. I want to just work it out before this race. So Tin Can is now wait, let me check again. Tin Can is now 3 points off the championships lead, so it's Rocco by a point over Verstappen, and then Tin Can 2 further points behind, so they are all separated by 3 points at the top as we start the feature race, which Rocco has a great advantage in because he is starting on pole position. Tin Can will start down in 9th. I think Verstappen will start in 3rd, as we can see the tyre choice now, and I see a lot of people on softs. I don't know whether it forces you to go on softs now with the F2 cars. No, Tin Can has gone on the medium, so it does not force you to go onto the soft compounder tyres. So we have a few people going with the alternate strategy. B. Morgan again going with the alternate strategy, going on the softs in the sprint race, going on the mediums in the feature to start with. Everyone has to do a mandatory stop in this race. And the stop cannot be completed until lap 3. So even if a safety car comes out on lap 1, they can pit on lap 1, but it will not count as a mandatory pit stop. They will have to pit again after the end of lap 2. So as soon as they cross the line for lap 3, on the 3rd lap they can pit for their mandatory stop. But pretty much, there's only 4 people in the whole field gone on mediums. We have Tin Can in 9th, B. Morgan, Darry 13th, 14th, and Ibo in 18th. I'm very interested to see what Jerome can do from the back of the grid again. Made good progress in that last race. And Campbell now, obviously recovered to 11th in that last race. Picked up 5 points. But it was involved in that accident on the first lap. And will want to do a lot better. Well, it's not really his fault that he got damaged. Or I don't know. I haven't seen the incident, but he will just want to avoid an incident this time around and try and get that race win off Rocco. Rocco's qualifying pace was fantastic, as he's just obliterated a Rolex advertising board. as they make their way through the hairpin at turn 14 on the formation lap, as we have two drivers disqualified from the formation lap in Darry and Mark, so there must have been contact there. As we get round to the starting grid, as we have two more disqualifications from the formation lap. So here we are there, then. Rocco to take up his pole position spot that he earned in that one-shot qualifying session. And we'll just wait for Jerome at the back of the grid to get into his position before the lights come on for the feature race in Shanghai. And they will start appearing anytime now. Here we go. Build up to 5 red lights. And away we go for the feature race in Shanghai. Very good start from Rocco. Kind of gets away from Campbell. Is Campbell going to look at the inside? No, he's going to slot in behind him. Verstappen had a look. No, Nolan had a look, sorry, up the inside. Kind of cut off just Verstappen hanging it round the outside. He's got up against Nolan. But very good start from Rocco in the Campos. Shazoo Cortez and Tinkan going side by side. They've kind of... Oh, no, they're still going side by side. That's B. Morgan. And there is a Red Bull off in the background. That is Darry off as they are 3 wide into turn 6. That's not going to end well. There's a bit of contact hope. Takes a little bit of a hit, but he gets away with that. It's B. Morgan now on the inside of Tinkan. Can he hold this? Look at the battling going on in the head. Killer Blue trying to get a switch back on his teammate. It's a little bit of a touch of a curve from B. Morgan. That curve is dangerous on this game. And they're still side by side, but I think B. Morgan's going to get this position held. Is he? Tinkan looking around the outside. Can he hold that? No, he can't. So B. Morgan slots into P10 on those medium compound tyres. Tinkan, not a great start, down 3 positions at the start. There's a front wing missing there. I don't know who that is. There's more front wing missing. I think that was B. Morgan, actually, has lost a chunk of his right-hand side end plate. And I don't know who else got damaged there. Jerome was up a few positions. He's trying to get back on Mark now onto the straight. There's a lot of weaving going on there from Nathan, who is in 6th currently. As Campbell takes the lead at the end of the straight into turn 14, as Rocco going to have a look back on the switchback. Can't get anything done. So Campbell leads us at the end of lap 1 across the line in the ART. And other than that, not many positions swapped in the top 10 really. Not majorly, as Jerome comes into the pit, so he did have damage. The other one with damage is B. Morgan, so he's now on those mediums, trying to hold on. And that is Cortez trying to overtake him, as Nathan had a look at Larkin in front. They're all stuck in this little queue. And they can't really get anything done. All staying in the same positions now, as Cortez finally got past B. Morgan. He has. So B. Morgan with that damage. Is he going to start sliding through the field? It is only lap 2, so he's got he hasn't got that far to go, but no, he has got that far to go because he is on the medium compound tyres. So it's a bit of a struggle for him with that broken front wing, especially with that alternate strategy. He's going to have to go very long into this race, and it's going to hurt him a lot. Tinkan behind, got to be looking at getting past him now, as we'll go back with the leaders. Still no DRS, we're on lap 2. The DRS activates next time around, as we do have side by side Nathan and Larkin. Larkin, little bit of contact there. Nathan's run is a bit wider. Larkin, not really the ideal run out for him. So as they come down the straight, has Nathan got enough of a toe, enough overspeed to get past Larkin here? He's got the inside. Is he going to make a move down into turn 14? He's going to get this done on the brakes. I think he is. So Nathan up into P5 as Miami opportunistic on Larkin. Gets up into P6. Does he know he's going to have to give that position back? He gives that position back, sorry, as they cross the line. As Verstappen now does the fastest lap of this race. So Verstappen looking more at the back of Rocco than Rocco is at the back of Campbell. And we're just trying to control this race. As we start lap 3, as Cortez is trying to get past Killer Blue, as Tinkan has got past B. Morgan, now up into back into the top 10, as Jordan is trying to get past Maverick as well. They're side by side coming through turn 3 and into 4. Can they keep this going? They can, but I think Maverick's got a better run out there. And can Jordan get this position? Can he get this move done into turn 6? They're still side by side on exit, and actually Emily Taupe in the high-tech having a look round the outside. They're 3 wide, and that was, oh, it looked inevitable. And Jordan has gone through a spin through the grass, 3 into, well, you can barely go 2 wide through that corner at the speed they're going, and they went 3 wide. So kind of inevitable in that sense, as Miami's actually fallen a second back from Larkin now, as DRS is enabled this time around, and actually Larkin might have just Miami might have just picked up the DRS. We'll find out as he crosses the activation line, and he has. So he is fine from his teammate behind for now, as there is a battle in front. Nathan trying to get up to 4th place on Nolan. Nolan not going to give up this one easily. But I think Nathan, has he got that position? No, Nolan still, they're side by side. And actually, Nathan goes into the pits. Nolan has to cut the corner to avoid contact there. Nathan pulls the undercut early. Oh, that was someone miles off the road in the background. I think that was heated. When miles off the road, it's almost like he went into the pit lane and decided against it at the last second. But that was bizarre, as Larkin now on the back of Nolan. They're 2 seconds from the leaders. Campbell still leading from Rocco, from Verstappen. It's the top 3 have disappeared up the road again. Tin Can now, the softs will start to die off at this really at any point soon. We're going to be looking at the medium runners, specifically Tin Can, because he's the only one really in a good position to benefit from anything. Tin Can really going to see what his pace can do, as that was a bit wide from Rocco. Verstappen's going to have a look, very close to making contact there, and actually Rocco has fallen out of a second here of Campbell. The pole sitter hasn't quite got the same pace in the race. Campbell is just driving away from him here. That little side-by-side moment has cost Rocco DRS, and it actually might cost him 2nd position here to Verstappen and the provisional championship lead, even though we are at round 2. It's a bit early, but got to keep ourselves in the loop, as Verstappen with the DRS is going to breeze past Rocco. You just think into turn 14, and yes, Verstappen is ahead. A bit of a lock-up from Rocco, I think that was, as Killer Blue gets past Miami, his teammate, down into turn 14 on the DRS. So we will now look as Miami actually into the pits there. So pit stops are happening, as actually we had Campbell into the pits. So Verstappen now leads this race from Rocco. Rocco right behind him. This is a crucial stop for ART to get their man back out in the lead. He will have the undercut. Tyre deg around China is normally not great, so he's got to watch out on that. But in an F2 race, it shouldn't matter too much, as Campbell is going to come out, you would think, in clean air. Yes, he does. He comes out behind his teammate Ibo. Nathan picks up a 3-second time penalty as he comes down the pit straight. He is behind Campbell, as you would expect, so the undercut isn't that powerful. He's only 2.3 seconds behind, but the gap was fairly similar beforehand. You've got to think Rocco and Verstappen are going to make a move this lap to come into the pits to try and not lose too much time to Campbell. Campbell, in F2 cars, the tyres are very cold on the first lap, so if they can get track position, even with the DRS, they might be able to just hold it. We'll have to wait and see. Campbell had a second gap before he came into the pits. So Rocco going to stay behind Verstappen here, not quite close enough for an overtake. Ibo does, Campbell gets past his teammate in the middle sector. They're going to hold position. Heated picks up a 3-second time penalty. He's currently running in 7th, yet to pit on the soft compounder tyres, so we will be seeing him into the pits very soon, as we do have the top 2 into the pits. Everyone going to follow them. Yes, Larkin in as well. I think most of the field are in. Actually, Shazoo Cortez and has stayed out on his soft compound tyres. Tin Can, I think that's because Verstappen came into the pits, so Cortez couldn't. Tin Can stays out on his mediums. Everyone else except from Taupe has come into the pit. So B Morgan went very early. He actually got off his mediums on lap 4 onto the softs. So he's gone for 12 laps on the softs. I don't know if he can do that. Technically done his mandatory stop. But are those softs going to make it to the end? I don't think so. As Cortez leads this race, yet to pit on the soft compound tyres. Him and Taupe, the only ones yet to pit on those soft compound tyres. Darry still, well, Taupe and Darry are a very long way actually off the lead group really, as Rocco has come out side by side with Nolan. So that undercut from Nolan has done wonders, as he's nearly got past Rocco. Rocco was in that lead group. Campbell is pulled away massively. He was only 1 second ahead. It's now nearly 3 seconds to Verstappen, and Rocco is even further behind that, as there's a yellow flag. That is Killer Blue making a mistake out of turn 6, and he will recover that. I don't know if he's hit the wall. I wouldn't have thought so there, but yeah, he is now down in 18th position. So he was having a solid race, battling with Miami for the lower end of the top 10, but he has had a spin early in the lap, as Maverick has now had a spin at turn 10 and loses that place to Killer Blue. So he's now behind Killer Blue, as Cortez now pits for the medium compound tyres on lap 6, at the end of lap 6. So 10 laps for him on the mediums, as Taupe follows suit. No moves really going on. Rocco is ahead of Nolan, just outside of DRS. So if he can get back in DRS with Verstappen, he's got a chance still in this race. Nathan has undercut them all. He's provisional P2 in this race, but with that penalty, it's going to drop him down. So as Nolan's actually going for a move here on Rocco into turn 1 on the DRS, he gets it done. Can Rocco come back at him at the inside? Yes, he can. Nolan's going to fight this all the way. Has the inside, and there's a little bit of contact, nearly a half spin for Nolan. Keeps it facing forwards, and Rocco holds on to that position, but they're falling further and further back from Verstappen and Nolan. No, from Verstappen and Nathan, sorry. And it's not doing Rocco any favours. Started this race from pole, took pole position in qualifying. Slipped back at the start, was second for a lot of it, then dropped to third, but now in a provisional P4, looking more behind him than in front, because he can't close that gap really to Verstappen. And Campbell in this race just looks to be gone without a mistake. A 2.5 second gap in an F2 race is a massive gap with spec cars. It's really difficult to close that back up. There has to be a really obvious pace difference, and Campbell is actually extending that gap slightly, so he might have a move in front from Verstappen. He's going to look at Nathan. This is his chance to try and close the gap. Nathan on the brakes, later on the brakes. He's gone a bit deep into the corner, but Verstappen can't get a run on the exit, as Nolan has had a look at Rocco. As Cortez actually has made the move on Miami, so he stopped a bit later than everyone. He's now down in 9th, and he's trying to get back through. So he is now just behind this group, who are side by side again. Nolan on the outside yet again, but Rocco not behind, entering in the corner. So we have a yellow flag. That is Miami now around. So that is the other Trident car having a spin, but he's only lost 1 place from that, but a lot of time. He's only just been overtaken by Cortez, so he has slipped back a little bit, as we're still waiting probably another 3 laps, until the top 2 decide to make their pit stop on those medium compound tyres. Tin Can and Darry still going round. Darry a long way off the back of Tin Can, but Tin Can in a very good position here to claim some good points. Started 9th in this race, but but he is just striving now as Cortez picks up a 3-second time penalty. But Tin Can trying to just maintain the gap behind if he can. It's currently it's hovering around 23 seconds to Campbell at the moment. Nathan a few more behind that with his penalty as well, and he's still holding Verstappen behind us. We're going to watch Nolan now again with the DRS. Is Rocco going to defend this? No, he's not. Rocco doesn't defend the inside of turn 14. Nolan goes a bit deep. Is Rocco going to go for the switchback? Yes, he is. Nolan has the drive out of the corner. Is he close enough? Are they side by side? Yes, he is. Rocco backs out. Nolan picks up a 3-second time penalty, and Rocco has the DRS down to turn 1. Is it powerful enough to get him just clear into turn 1? Or is Nolan still going to have his nose up the inside? Nolan is still going to have his nose up the inside. They just avoid contact. And they're still side by side as they come through. And Nolan actually slightly ahead here. Rocco gonna give the space. And Rocco still ahead. It's actually nice gap that's just developed there as Ariel Mark has retired in the pits. Our first retirement of the race on lap, the end of lap 8, beginning of lap 9. As those leaders are slowly closing that gap to Tin Can. It's currently 22.5, so the gap's getting smaller, but not by a massive amount. As Verstappen now has lapped cars behind him. I think, wait. Huh. That was interesting. I was on board with Verstappen then, and it was showing me Larkin. It did say I was on board with Verstappen, which is very weird. But now Verstappen is going for this move on Nathan. Nathan has that 3-second time penalty. Doesn't bother Verstappen. He needs to get past to try and challenge Campbell in the latter stages of this race. There's a bit of contact there with Nathan. Nathan currently not losing another position. There's yellow flags again, and that is Killer Blue out of the session. That could be a safety car. We haven't had a safety car so far in either of these races, as we have double waved yellows, but no safety car as of yet, and there is no one in that area of the track, and the car is already gone. So Nathan trying around the outside on Verstappen, no space there. Verstappen looks to have this move done for provisional P2 in this race. The battle behind, Nolan still in behind Rocco. Rocco still holding on to that position. As it stands, Verstappen would take the championship lead by a few points over Rocco, who's only 1 point behind starting this. The wild card in this race is Tin Can. Tin Can only 3 points off the lead of the championship, won the sprint race. Whether he can get himself back into play in the last couple of laps, I reckon we're going to see a pit stop this lap for the soft compound of tyres. And then Tin Can's charge will be well and truly on. It's about 20.5, 20.6 seconds between the Tin Can and the provisional leader in Campbell, who has well and truly made up for a miserable sprint race where he got damage on lap 1 and just managed to recover to 11th. He's well and truly making up for that now as Campbell does come into the pits. He is broken very early, and that to me makes me feel like he's definitely following the racing line, which means he's actually listened to it, and he's better safe than sorry, as we have a spinner, and I don't know who that was actually. It might have been Cortez, and it was Cortez, as Tin Can in the pits. Coming out of the pits now, he's just going to be behind Larkin. Cortez might actually jump him as well. So Cortez is now ahead of Tin Can. Tin Can down in 8th. Few penalties up the road. Campbell now leads this race with a penalty. Oh, when did he pick up that? I did not see that come up, actually. Maybe I'm just blind, or he's had that for a while and I've just not been paying attention. A couple of laps. Been focusing further down the field. But actually, that puts Verstappen in the provisional lead of this race with that time penalty. But Tin Can with work to do now. He's going to be the one charging through the field as Larkin has got past Rocco. Now on the back of Nolan. So Nolan now leading this group. Rocco down to 6th. The pole sitter. It's really not showing the pace he did in qualifying. His one lap pace was fantastic. He had a pretty decent sprint race as well, finishing 4th, starting from 10th. So that was pretty good. But starting from pole here, he's slipped back 5 positions. So actually, let's look at the biggest gainers. So the biggest gainer actually is Jerome down in 12th. He is started last. He invalidated his qualifying, so he's up 9 positions now. As we've had heated spin in turn 13, as Larkin is looking around the outside of Nolan. And Rocco's well involved here. Neither of them swap positions. As Tin Can has got past Cortez. I just missed that. Sorry for missing that. As Nolan picks up a penalty, which is he's now on 6 seconds. As Larkin does look at the inside. Larkin with no penalties so far. And this puts Tin Can well in range. As we have Maverick round at turn 14. But Verstappen is closing that gap. Verstappen closing the gap to Campbell in the lead. Campbell does have that penalty, but Verstappen is gaining. It's now 1.7. It was 2.2 a couple laps ago. Rocco's still in this train. Now at the back of it, he was leading it a few laps ago, of course, but he's got to watch out behind. This is the interesting one. Tin Can is going to have all the grip in the world when he catches up to the back of them. But is he going to get stuck in the train like the rest of them have? Or is he going to be able to make his way through it? He's closing that gap up rapidly. He's going to lose a little bit down the straight, but his grip through this corner is going to be fantastic. The gap could come down a lot through here just on its own as we come through. Oh, and actually that's a mistake from Rocco in front as well. That's a massive mistake from Cortez behind. Cortez slipping backwards. I don't know if he has damage or anything, but I wouldn't have thought so. As Larkin and Nolan swapping positions again. They're going to battle again. This is going to bring Tin Can well into play. The next time around, you think he could be well on the back of these guys as they're side by side through the final corner. Nolan goes round the outside, very nicely done. Tin Can is right there in the background. You can see him as they're going to swap positions again here. You think? No, actually, Larkin can't get the move done around the outside. He's tried for the switchback. There is a gap there. Has Nolan seen him? There's a bit of contact. And they're going side by side now. On the outside, Larkin is going to have to give that position up. Rocco now at the inside of Larkin. And they all maintain position. As Tin Can only... He's right behind there. He's going to be in DRS on the next straight. As that gap for the lead has stabilised yet again. Nathan is going to get podium here as it stands. Because the gap is 6.7 back to Nolan now. Unless he picks up a few more penalties, that is as good as done for that top 3. But Tin Can now, this is where Tin Can's going to struggle a little bit. He's going to get stuck in this DRS train. He's got the grip. He's got the superior grip on these guys. But he needs to make use of it. And he can't do that down the straights. And if he gets stuck in a train, he's in a bit of a pickle. He needs them to probably battle and for the opportunity to come to him, rather than trying to seek it out himself. Larkin this time around is close enough to have a look, but he doesn't. Well, it's actually Nolan goes a bit wide at the exit on the exit of turn 14 and actually loses that position. No, they're still side by side as they go into into the final corner at 16. And now they're going to battle all the way down to turn 1. Or all the way probably to turn 4. As they have done the last couple of laps. Larkin with the DRS is ahead. Nolan can't really do anything that time around. Rocco. Oh, Tin Can has to avoid a crash there. As Rocco kind of forces his way up the inside of Nolan. Nolan's not going to back out of that one. This is Tin Can's opportunity to go all the way around the outside of Nolan. Can he? He has the grip. Nolan does give him the room. So this is crucial for Tin Can if he can get up to 4th place in this race. Can he get this move done on Nolan? He has the grip. He's up the inside, and I think that might be position done. They're still going to run side by side, but that is Tin Can ahead, up into 6th position. Larkin, Rocco, now Tin Can in this train. Nolan shuffled to the back yet again, just changing positions every lap really. As Tin Can gets one of the moves done, that is crucial. He needs to get to the front of this train really, to maximise his points. We are going to have a new championship leader as it stands. Verstappen taking the championship lead off Rocco, but Tin Can getting himself into that championship fight really. Verstappen going to pull away a bit more. The gap's going to be, I don't know what the gap's going to be. Probably we're going to be close to double figures, but maybe not, as Tin Can does have the DRS, but Rocco is going to go for it on Larkin. Tin Can has the overspeed on Larkin. He looks for it. Doesn't go for the move. He's going to let these two battle. Take a little bit of a wider line. Try and get straighten up the exit. And he does that. And they're still side by side, Rocco and Larkin in front. Tin Can playing it patient. He does move to the inside there to cover a little. Try and get the run. As now he's absolutely mugged off by Nolan around the outside of the final corner. Nolan has managed to shuffle himself back to the front of this group, as Rocco is up the inside there, 3 wide in turn 2, as Larkin's now right at the back of it. Tin Can shuffled right to the back of the group. Well, that was a phenomenal move from Nolan. I didn't even see him in that picture, as that was an interesting freeze frame on my screen. But Tin Can did not slam into the back of Larkin as it looked like. But now Tin Can is back down in 7th, provisional 6th because of Nolan's penalties. Nolan's just trying to make it interesting for himself. He's just, actually Luke's just in range to catch Nolan. And if they battle anymore, Luke's going to be well in range. Verstappen has actually closed the gap down to 1.3 seconds, as we will switch to the battle. To Campbell crossing the line. I don't want to miss this battle though. This battle is insane, really. I don't want to miss the battle. Well, yes, Campbell crossing the line is cool, but this battle is amazing so far. As Tin Can has actually fallen quite far back, and Nolan is going to breeze past Rocco this time around into 4th position yet again. The concertina effect into turn 14. Tin Can, before he had the 1 position move done, if you could get past that into the 2nd car in the train is where you want to be really at this point. Rocco has really 1 more straight to get. Well, he's going to get it as it stands. He's just got to fight off Larkin and Tin Can behind. The softs, the effect of the softs might have worn off, as Jerome has been disqualified from the session for failing to use 2 sets of tyre the correct tyre compounds. Yeah. Okay. So I'm assuming... Oh, Tin Can's gone for a move on Larkin. Down into turn 6. Larkin's going to have the drive out the corner. Tin Can going to have to look around the outside. It's not going to really happen for him there. And they hold position. But Tin Can is basically pushing Larkin through this middle sector. Is he going to look for a late move there? No, he doesn't go for it. He's sticking in behind as Darry gets past Heated. Heated has that penalty. It's not going to change much, as Verstappen now into DRS on the final lap. So Verstappen has closed down Campbell. Campbell has a lap car in front of him. It is B. Morgan. Weaving in front of the leaders. I think he's given Campbell DRS. But these are going to cross the line anytime soon. I just want to watch as Nolan picks up his 3rd 3-second time penalty. He's now at 9 seconds. That is going to drop him, I think, only to 8th in the end. So he's going to lose a few positions, but Tin Can has made a late move, as we do have the leaders crossing the line. Verstappen wins from Campbell and Nathan. as Tin Can could not get that move done. He's going to finish 6th in the end, 7th on the road. Nolan finishes 4th on the road. He's going to drop well down the field, though. Is Luke going to get ahead of Nolan here? Yes, he is. But that should be how it finishes from there on. Yes, so in the end, Rocco does hold on to take 4th in both races. But he is going to drop to 2nd in this championship. Tin Can 6th. Larkin finishes 5th. Very good race from Larkin. Always in that battle. Tin Can on the alt strategy takes home 6th place. So still towards the top of that championship. Campbell, a mega drive, but that penalty cost him that win. And Nathan, the same thing. Penalty cost him further. Well, he still finished 3rd on the road, but it cost him trying to go for that win. Really, it took any chance of that away from him. Luke finishes 7th in the end. Nolan dropping down to 8th with those penalties. Tobin 9th. Cortez 10th. Miami in 11th. Darian 12th. Heated 13th. Jordan 15th. Maverick in the final points paying position in 15th. Then we have Ibo and Morgan 16th and 17th. And then out of the race, Killer Blue and Ariel Mark, they retired. They and Jerome got disqualified. So let me just check the fastest lap. The fastest lap was set by QVR Verstappen. So he takes the final. He takes the point for that as well, just getting it off Nathan by 7 thousandths of a second. He beats Nathan to the fastest lap as Ibo crosses the line now. And there we have it. 2 races done at China. 2nd round of the F2 season completed. And we have to say, Verstappen in both of those races, mega drives. And he is going to be leading the championship after this one. After qualifying, it looked like Rocco could... after the first race, Rocco did a good job in the first race to only lose 1 point to Verstappen. But in that second race, in the feature race, where the big points are given out, Verstappen takes home 26, and Rocco in 4th place will take home 18. So that is an 8-point swing, giving Verstappen a 7-point lead in the championship as we end the 2nd round of the season. Verstappen will lead by 7 from Rocco. I don't know where Campbell comes into play, but his first race wasn't that great, so he might not be involved. But there we have it. The standing, the final race results. Loads of battles up and down the field. That was fantastic racing from everyone involved, really. A few incidents at the start of the sprint race, which put a few people out of contention. But other than that, nothing major. And I hope everyone enjoyed that. That was some. I thought that was some great racing. I hope everyone in the chat did. And next week, F2 comes for the first time. I think for the first time. Let me just check. It was not on the calendar last season, and it couldn't have been on the calendar before because for the first time, F2 goes to Imola. And I cannot wait for that one. F2 cars around Imola. I love Imola in general. People that know me know I love Imola. So F2 cars around Imola will be great. Same time next week, 8 o'clock UK time. On a Tuesday, we will have F2. I think the plan is I will be commentating for the foreseeable future. Gutted for Alex because I think he really wanted to do this. So I will try and live up to that. But until next week at Imola. Oh, actually, no. I forgot something. The F1. Oh, no, actually, tomorrow. F1 Endure. Around, let me just find out the track. It is Canada in Endure. Yep, so Canada in Endure. Being commentated by Mike And then we have our normal F1 schedule on the weekends. Friday, 8 p.m. UK, a PC side of things. And then Saturday, 6:30 p.m. for the PS4 Divisions 1, 3 and 4. And then 8, I don't know if it's 8 p.m. or 10 minutes past 8. UK time for Divisions 2 and 5. But and then we're back to F2 next Tuesday. So until next week, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the racing today, and Eloise will be back this Friday with PC. So until then, everyone have a very good rest of your weeks.